Yo, 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 what's going on, y'all? It is your favorite businessman CEO on Let's Hash It Out. So, I'm glad I got y'all tonight. Y'all already know every Friday night, 10 o'clock, we on, baby. So, I'm just letting what we got. We got Facebook, we got YouTube, we got Instagram. We're on Instagram to load up right now. So, just give me a minute. There we go. Instagram, we going live, baby. Instagram is real irritating when it comes to live streaming from a software because it's like a big delay between the two. So it's very frustrating. So tonight we got a few different topics that we're going to go into, and they definitely are interesting. But I wanna know, how has y'all week been? Let me know how y'all been. What's been going on with y'all? What's been new with y'all? What's been cracking in those streets? On my end, what's been cracking on the streets is a lot of a lot of mess, you know. There's good things and bad things, you know, as life goes. But we got to keep it cracking. Oh, so we're going to be operating in a different way moving forward. Now, I've been doing a lot of thinking when it comes to the structure of the show and, you know, just doing my own research, seeing the way that other streams go and just looking at the flow of things, you know, because you're always supposed to be a student of the game, right? So just simply watching as the flow of the other structures, the other shows, I'm about to set up a certain structure on how we're gonna operate, right? So what we always gonna start with is we gonna always start with politics. Reason for that is because 1 second. What?
Don't you got your walkie on?
Baby, I'm live. I'm not talking on the walkie.
But don't you got it on?
Yes, but I'm not talking on it.
So you hear me for that?
Yeah.
What did I say?
Baby, get out. I'm live, like people watching.
Wait.
On it. Son, bye. Love you. My little man's. Close the door. Thank you. But so we always gonna start with politics, right? Now the reason we gonna start with politics is because as a business person, before I didn't like politics for my own reasons. However, I understand the importance of politics. And on here, you know, we all CEOs when we come here, you know, creating executive opportunities. So everything that I learned, I want to come back and I want to kick it with y'all. And I want to anything that I learn, anything that I'm checking out, whatever, I want to bring it back to y'all and I want to chop it up about it because the more that I learn, the more y'all gonna learn. The more that y'all learn, the more informed decisions that y'all can actually make moving forward. Politics is one of those things, whether you like it or you don't, is going to affect you in some way, shape, or form. So we gonna rock it out there. After that segment of the show, we're gonna go into either whatever somebody sends us, send me to review, or wherever I found, you know, whether it's relationship, whether it's parenting, anything like that, then we're gonna rock it out, we're gonna roll like that. So I want to get into the first thing of the show. I'm about to pull it up right now. So we're actually going to do a review on what's been going on with Trump. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Trump for their own reasons. And at the end of the day, you know, people reasons are their reasons. I know a lot of people they don't like him for their own personal feelings. I don't necessarily agree with it. However, I still respect anybody's opinion. I mean, because it's your opinion, so it's kind of like, you know, whatever. Um, However, Trump is definitely doing a lot of, I'm gonna say, beneficial things when it comes to the country. Literally, he came in and he's been in. It's the 14th. What? It's not even. It's not even a full month yet. I think it's only been what 3 weeks, and he has came in and did a hell of a lot, as far as with Doge, as far as with the economy. Now granted, he has found a ton of money as far as what the government has been overspending. Now, and I'm actually bringing this one up. I'm gonna bring this fact up real quick because I don't, whether you know or not, whether you know or not, I want y'all to see what the US debt is. Because I feel like it's extremely important. So let's stream it. Hold on, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. Share screen, bam. Let's rock. Check this out. So simply looking at that, right? This is legit the real US debt clock. As you can see, the US debt is steady running up, but it's $36 trillion. $36 trillion. So right here, all in this area, that is our debt. So if you look at the debt per citizen, it's $107,000. Debt per taxpayer, $323,000, mind you, because everybody don't pay taxes. But looking at that, you clear first and foremost, guys. Everybody don't even make $100,000 a year. The average, what? Listen, let me see. Let me see if he even has it on here. Look at this. Medicare, Medicaid. Look at what's that? 1,000. This is bam, million, billion. So 1.6 trillion. Social Security, 1.4 trillion. Defense is, am I looking at that right? Hundreds, thousands, millions. Yeah, that's billions. Interest on the debt. Look at the interest on the debt. Like these numbers are astronomical, right? So this is why I honestly believe we need to talk and have a conversation about it because it's important. So that's why we're gonna talk politics. So hold on, I'm still queuing it up. Get my downloads here. Bam. Hold on, give me a second, cause I got them all ready. So I'm trying to see why it's not popping up. One second. Getting all fussy. Where the fuck are these downloads at, bro? Is it on my other channel? Guys, I got 2 channels. And it shouldn't be on there at all, but it might be. All right, you know what? Don't worry about it. We gonna load it up regularly. I had all this queued up already. I don't know why it's not automatically popping up. Some BS. Tell you that much. All right, bet. All right, so we about to go ahead and get into this first one, which is Elon, and we are actually going to go over the entire video, 31 minutes, and we're gonna add our commentary to it because it's extremely important that we know what's going on. Now, I know you guys probably seen in the news where you have, the political parties where a lot of the people are complaining about Elon and what he's doing. Now, I want to remind y'all, they always gonna play on y'all feelings and y'all emotions when it comes to politics. Now, this is one of the reasons why I like Trump and Elon. Like, now understand this. I'm not necessarily saying I like them personally. I like how they're operating business wise. So I want to make that very clear. It's not about you liking somebody personally and all like that. It's really about what they're doing. So that's what we about to get into in this one, okay?
Thanks for getting you here. Come here often?
X, are you okay? This is X. and he's a great guy, high IQ. He's a high IQ individual.
And he's got this, check out this cool chain he's got.
So thank you very much. We had a busy day today. The king just left, and we've had a great discussion, terrific discussion concerning Gaza and everything else. We had discussions.
Exactly what I was talking about, bro.
And I think it's very important. And that's one of the reasons I got elected. I said, we're going to do that. Nobody had any idea it was that bad, that sick, and that corrupt. And it seems hard to believe that judges want to try and stop us from looking for corruption, especially when we found hundreds of millions of dollars worth, much more than that, in just a short period of time. And we want to weed out the corruption. And it seems hard to believe that a judge could say, we don't want you to do that. Well, so maybe we have to look at the judges, because that's a very serious, I think it's a very serious violation. I'll ask Elon Musk to say a few words, and we'll take some questions. Elon, go ahead.
Sure. So at a high level, if you say what is the goal of Doge, and I think a significant part of the presidency is to restore democracy. This may seem like, well, aren't we in a democracy? Well, if you don't have a feedback loop, okay, we would have to, if you it's all right. I tell you, gravitas can be difficult sometimes. If there's not a loop, and that the public's elected representatives, the president, the House, and the Senate, decide what happens, as opposed to a large unelected bureaucracy. This is not to say that there are good people who are in the federal bureaucracy, but you can't have an autonomous federal bureaucracy. You have to have one that is responsive to the people. That's the whole point of a democracy. And if you looked at this, if you looked at the founders today and said, what do you think of the way things have turned out? Well, we have this unelected, fourth unconstitutional branch of government, which is the bureaucracy, which has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative. And this is not something that people want, and it does not match the will of the people. So it's just something we've got to fix. And then we've also got to address the deficit. So we've got a $2 trillion deficit, and if we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt. I mean, it's really astounding that the interest payments alone on the national debt exceed the Defense Department budget, which is shocking, because we spend a lot of money on defense. But if that just keeps going, we're essentially going to bankrupt the country. So what I really want to say is, like, it's not optional for us to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential. It's essential for America to remain solvent as a country, and it's essential for America to have the resources necessary to provide things to its citizens and not simply be servicing vast amounts of debt.
And also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found, some of the crazy numbers, including the woman that walked away with about 30 million,
right,
etc.?
Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is what happened at USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But just there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at the taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it. So, we're looking at, say, if you look at, say, Treasury, for example, basic controls that should be in place, that are in place in any company, such as making sure that any given payment has a payment categorization code, that there is a comment field that describes the payment, and that if a payment is on the do not pay list, that you don't actually pay it. None of those things are true currently. So the reason that departments can't pass audits is because the payments don't have a categorization code. It's like just a massive number of blank checks just flying out the building. So
Now, real quick, what I want y'all to pay attention to is he's sitting here breaking all this stuff down, right? Now, everybody is really upset about Elon and Doge and everything on what they are doing, because they're literally going through the entire government's like spending, each department. They going through everything with a fine-tooth comb, and they basically looking to see where is all this. Why do we have so much debt? Now, remember, it was some information that came out that basically said they stopped the payment that was about to go over to Gaza for $50 million for condoms. Now, as we sit here listening to this, I want y'all to pay attention to everything that he sit here and says. And it just makes you sit back and it makes you think and wonder, why the hell is our government spending all of the taxpayer? Mind you, the government can only spend money because of what we give them. What we go to work, I'm talking about all the people that's struggling, everything, all the sales tax, income tax, property tax, effing air tax, trash tax, all of that. Our money go to them, and remind you, they sent all of our money in all these other places. So all these government officials is pissed because he's funding all of this. So just pay attention to that.
you can't reconcile blank checks. You've got comment fields that are also blank, so you don't know why the payment was made. And then we've got this truly absurd, a do not pay list, which can take up to a year for an organization to get on a do not pay list. And this, we're talking about terrorist organizations, we're talking about known fraudsters, known aspects of waste, known things that do not match any congressional appropriation, can take up to a year to get on the list. And even once on the list is not used. It's mind-blowing. So what we're talking about here, we're really just talking about adding common sense controls that should be present, that haven't been present. So you say, like, well, how could such a thing arise? That seems crazy. When you understand that really everything is geared towards complaint minimization, so then you understand the motivations. So if people receive money, they don't complain, obviously. But if people don't receive money, they do complain. And the fraudsters complain the loudest and the fastest. So then when you understand that, then it makes sense. Oh, that's why everything they approve all the payments at Treasury. Because if you approve all the payments, you don't get complaints. But now we're saying that, no, actually, we are going to complain. If money is spent badly, if your taxpayer dollars are not spent in a sensible and frugal manner, then that's not okay. Your tax dollars need to be spent wisely on things that matter to the people. I mean, these things, like, it's just common sense. It's not draconian or radical, I think. It's really just saying, let's look at each of these expenditures and say, is this actually in the best interest of the people? And if it is, it's approved. If it's not, we should think about it. So,
transparency.
There's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone who's 150? I don't. Okay. They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out. So, that's a case where, like, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess. Or they should be very famous, one of the two. And then there's a whole bunch of Social Security payments where there's no identifying information. Well, like, why is there no identifying information? Obviously, we want to make sure that people who deserve to receive Social Security do receive it, and that they receive it quickly and accurately. I'll tell you another crazy thing. So, you know, one of the things is like we are actually, I think, a great anecdote because we're told the most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, well, why is that? Well, because all the like it's just common sense. It's not draconian or radical. I think it's really just saying, let's look at each of these expenditures and say, is this actually in the best interest of the people? And if it is, it's approved. If it's not, we should think about it. So, you know, there's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there.
You already seen that
Case where, like, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess. We are actually, I think, a great anecdote.
Okay, that's just the video itself.
The most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, well, why is that? Well, because all the retirement paperwork is manual on paper. It's manually calculated, then written down on a piece of paper. Then it goes down a mine. And I'm like, what do you mean a mine? Like, yeah, there's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork. And you look at a picture of this mine. We'll post some pictures afterwards. And this mine looks like something out of the 50s because it was started in 1955. So it looks like it's like a time warp. And then the speed, the limiting factor is the speed at which the mine shaft elevator can move determines how many people can retire from the federal government.
Wow.
And the elevator breaks down sometimes, and then nobody can retire. Wow. Doesn't that sound crazy?
Wow.
There's like 1,000 people that work on this.
Right there, you got to say that's a wow. Because if Doge was never going through this entire process of going through every department, seeing where money is being spent, we would have never known about this. We would have never known that government officials can't even retire because they put their documentation that's on paper, they put it inside of a manila envelope and they send it down a mine. And the only way people can retire is the determining factor is an elevator. Like, that's not mind blowing to you. Like, you got to think about how much money is being spent just to do that, just to have people in there working. And on top of that, why isn't all this information electronic? Do y'all remember when it was a big deal when all of documentation far as with like doctor's office visits or the dentist and everything, they had to transfer everything over from you remember the folders that had all your information in it, and they had to transfer it all over to digital. Y'all remember that? Like it was 2025. So this started happening maybe like after like the 2008 crash or something. Like, it was somewhere within that time frame, but they had to start transitioning everything over. So if all of them transferred everything over, why hasn't our government done the same? Like, that's just something for y'all to think about.
So I think if prosperity is we get people to shift from roles that are low to negative productivity to high productivity roles. And so you increase the total output of goods and services, which means that there's a higher standard of living available for everyone. That's the actual goal. Everyone's very quiet, by the way. So are people normally this quiet?
Your detractors, Mr. Musk.
I have to what?
Including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted. We have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We won the House. We won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. And a lot of times, that people that don't get what they voted for, but in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
Mr. Musk, the White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any conflicts of interest that you may have. Does that mean that you are, in effect, policing yourself? What are the checks and balances that are in place to ensure that there is accountability and transparency?
No.
Well, we actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, we post our actions to the Doge handle on X and to the Doge website. So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the Doge organization. So, and the kind of things we're doing are, I think, very, very simple and basic. They're not, what I mentioned, for example, about Treasury, just making sure that payments that go out, taxpayer money that goes out, is categorized correctly, that the payment is explained.
For instance, which the president, I know, has directed you to look into.
Yeah.
Are you policing yourself in that? Is there any sort of accountability check and balance in place that would provide any transparency for the American people?
Well, all of our actions are fully public. It's totally obvious.
And if we thought that, we would not let him do that segment or look in that area. If we thought there was a lack of transparency or a conflict of interest.
Basically, what they saying is, listen, we got everything out in front of y'all, right? Which is a good thing, because if you really think about it, everything that's transpired in the past, it's been a lot of, behind closed doors. Nobody knows what's going on. Basically, like, we just left out in the blind, and then news reporters all of a sudden throw out titles and everything like that, right? However, he's basically saying, yo, we putting everything out on Front Street. Everything is already transparent. So the policing comes in from the actual public. And then Trump basically reinforcing it, saying like, yo, we wouldn't even put them in that type of position. You know what I'm saying? If we wasn't being transparent. I honestly believe in that sense, it's just reassuring the public, basically like, yo, like, y'all tripping for nothing. You don't have to trip, because we wouldn't even put him in a situation to where basically like he would need to hide something. And then if you really think about it, I get what some people say about Elon. Like, they try to be upset about Elon, like, oh, you're a billionaire and get access to, our information and stuff. And hear me out here. He was the owner of PayPal. Bro, everybody used PayPal. Everybody. If you, before Amazon really got the hitting for real, I was an eBay person. And I never liked using my credit card information on the actual site itself. I use I use PayPal for sure. For sure. They have all your information there. They got your first name, last name. They got I think you got to put your social in there at one point for some type of verification. You put your credit card information in there, your debit card information, your home address. He has all your information already. And then on top of that, there's websites out there right now that has all of your information on there, like legit. So when people try to get so upset about Elon doing what he's doing, I mean, if you really think about it, it's really like a betterment for everything because dude already rich. What else is he gonna do? I mean, cause like, come on, y'all, like for real. Let's say y'all become, I don't know, mega billionaires, and supposedly he's the richest dude on the planet on paper, right? If you're the richest dude on the planet, what else is there for you to do? It's not like it's, oh, I need, so much more money. Cause to do it's like, bro, you if you think about it, you already won. Like more money is not gonna make you feel better. You understand what I'm saying? Like when you think about the whole purpose of money is really like a bartering of it's an exchange. But if I'm already the richest, I'm number one. If I got access to your payment information, hypothetically, do you really think I'm gonna care about what your little broke ass got? Like just keeping it a buck. Like Elon can call everybody broke. He can call Trump broke because Trump ain't got as much money as he does. So he can literally be like, "Yo, Trump, you broke. Like, be quiet, you broke." And what can anybody say? like real talk. So just think about it. Let me know what do y'all think? Let me know.
And we watched that also. He's a big businessman. He's a successful guy. That's why we want him doing this. We don't want an unsuccessful guy doing this.
See?
Now, one thing also that Elon hasn't really mentioned are the groups of people that are getting some of these payments. They're ridiculous. And we're talking about billions of dollars that we've already found. We found fraud and abuse. I would say those two words as opposed to the third word that I usually use, but in this case, fraud and abuse. It's abusive because most of these things are virtually made up, or certainly money shouldn't be sent to them. And you know what I'm talking about. It's crazy. So, but we're talking about tens of billions of dollars that we've already found. And now a judge who's an activist judge wants to try and stop us from doing this. Why? Why would they want to do that? I campaigned on this. I campaigned on the fact that I said government is corrupt. And it is very corrupt. It's very, very, it's also foolish. As an example, a man has a contract for 3 months and the contract ends, but they keep paying him for the next 20 years, because nobody ends a contract. You got a lot of that. You have a contract that's a 3-month contract. Now, normally, if you're in a small, in all fairness, it's the size of this thing is so big.
Yeah.
But if you have a contract and you're in a regular business, you end the contract in 3 months. It's a consultant. Here's a contract for 3 months, but it goes on for 20 years. And the guy doesn't say that he got money for 20 years. They don't say it. They just keep getting checks month after month, and you have various things like that, and even much worse than that, actually, much worse. And I guess you call that incompetence, maybe.
Yeah.
It could be corruption. It could be a deals made on both sides, where the guy gets the money, he kicks. I think there's a lot of kickback here. I see a lot of kickback here.
There's a lot of kickbacks.
A tremendous kickback, because nobody could be so stupid to give out some of these contracts,
Yes.
so he has to get a kickback. So that's what I got elected for, that and borders and military and a lot of things, but this is a big part of it. And I hope that the court system is going to allow us to do what we have to do. We got elected to among other things, find all of this fraud, abuse, all of this horrible stuff going on. And we've already found billions of dollars, not like a little bit, billions, many.
So I'm gonna pause it right here. I definitely recommend that all of you go in, type the Elon Musk Oval Office and the full news conference. Definitely go in and watch that. Like watch the full thing. Definitely watch the full thing. Because basically what he's really just breaking down to indicate, Doge is basically doing their job. Doge is going through, they finding the money. They finding where all the money at. They finding where it's going to. They find all the mismanagement of funds. Because for so long, our government has not been getting audited. They have not been showing where our money is going. We already know that we sent billions with a B. We sent billions over to Ukraine. with a whole war and everything that was going on in Russia. All that money went over there. And while all of our own citizens have been suffering, dealing with everything that has been going on here, inflation and everything else that came along with it, the jobs, there's not enough. Well, there are enough jobs, but they've been saying that jobs increase, but yet they overestimated about 800,000, so it's a lot of issues there. So I want to pivot to something else because I did a review last week where we talked about Dank Demoss. Okay. Now, if you're not familiar with her, she is the woman that she's the Detroit rapper. And what happened with her was she ordered a lift. She ordered a lift. Lyft came through, about to pick her up. They pulled up, seeing how big she was, and he basically told her like, "Yo, you got to get another vehicle. My vehicle is small." It was a little back and forth, nothing disrespectful, but he basically told her like, "I can't pick you up," basically, and she was extremely upset about it. Which understandable, and with her being upset, she made a whole video and then she basically decided to sue. Now, since then, she has been on a Breakfast Club. So I have not watched the Breakfast Club interview, but we about to watch it today, okay? I only seen a small portion of it just to, kind of like get a sense of what they were talking about. So we are about to break into the whole thing. Where we at? Breakfast Club, baby.
Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Peace, Big Dank. How you?
Good morning.
You good?
Good morning.
What's going on? Nice to meet you.
Hi, how are you?
Stormy. What's happening? Peace, King. How you, brother? You good? Nice to meet you, Keys.
Got it.
Yep. It's the only seat y'all got?
What you want? What you need?
A bigger chair or something.
Cause she already little.
We had
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, before even diving into this, right? Seeing this, I didn't. Okay, so I did see like videos of her. I want to say early, like at the end of last year or somewhat, but I kind of forgot how she looked because I seen one of her rap videos, and the very first time. Now I never knew her name, but the very first time when I seen her rap video, I said to myself, I'm like, dog, this chick is like really big, and I'm like you worried about rapping, and now mind you, this is my own thought process, and at the end of the day, we all judge. I don't care what nobody say, man. We all judge. And my thing when it comes to judging, I look at it as long as you're not saying it to them personally, maliciously, trying to hurt their feelings, do you? Because at the end of the day, bro, we human beings, we all gonna judge. But from her being in trying to get into the lift vehicle and my man saying no, and then actually seeing her up here and like paying attention to this and knowing about the lawsuit and how she tried to justify everything with the whole I don't never have to get a bigger vehicle and blah blah, all that stuff. Seeing the fact that she couldn't even fit into a regular chair and they had to get this big ass bench over here for her to sit in, that should say something, man. Like, I understand the law, and even when I heard the commentary from the lawyers where they say it was discriminatory, and they tried to link it to what if you didn't want somebody to ride in your vehicle because they were like black or because of their race. I instantly thought, I was like, okay, so I understand where you going with that. But where I got to give some pushback at is race could not affect a small vehicle. The color of your skin could not affect the small vehicle. But your physical weight, your body mass definitely can affect the vehicle, bro. And it's like everything has a load capacity. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being completely 100. Everything has a load capacity. So it's like you gotta have that level of understanding too. Like, come on, man.
Good. This is accommodation.
There you go.
Oh.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Just Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren Rosa hanging out with us as well. We got a special guest in the building.
Who we got?
We have Big Dank Demoss. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you,
feeling?
Big Dank? How you feeling today?
I'm good.
Happy to have you.
Thank you.
You know, when we first heard about your story, you know, there was a lot of jokes made. Everybody made jokes, including us. But when I heard you was a rapper, I was like, you know, why not have her up here and have a conversation? See if this could, I don't know, help something. Right? Make the most of the moment.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Where you from?
Detroit.
Detroit. Tell us about. Well, no, this is your question. Let me go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead. This is what you do. This is what you do.
For
Go ahead.
people that don't know, a lot of people, of course, you're from Detroit. You're a rapper from Detroit, so you're highly known in Detroit in a lot of different places. But you got publicized recently because of an incident that you had with Lyft, and a Lyft driver. You ordered a Lyft, and you could tell
Well,
them
I
from
ain't
there.
want to go there. I just want to ask you who you always say to explain for the people who don't know who Big Dank is.
No, but people will have to connect the dots. Go
How
ahead.
long you been doing music, Dank? How long you been doing music?
I've been doing music for a long time. I took it seriously in 2016. So yeah.
And what got you into music?
My dad did music, and after he died, I just took it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
He was a rapper?
2016. Yeah,
And you were on Deb's house as well.
I was.
How was
On
that?
what?
Deb's house.
Deb's house on Lifetime.
Deb Inton.
Oh, all right.
How was that?
It was good. You know, it was a learning experience. Yeah, it was a learning experience. It was okay.
Did it help or hurt you in any way?
I never
Like
knew
you
none of
needed-
this.
I mean, I'm doing the same thing I was doing before. You know, you know, it was okay.
You don't want to say the wrong thing. You don't want to shit on nobody.
It's cool.
Because you had a couple moments on there, and I saw
I
one clip where
did.
you were really teary eyed.
Yeah, I was
she
teary-eyed
tough, or
because-
was it like what was that about?
Well,
I feel
Deb's,
like-
explain what Deb's house is. 'cause
Yeah, so
people
Deb's
that
house
don't know
is
what
a
it
show where she brings Deb Antony, brings
Waka
the rap,
Flocka's mom.
Waka Flocka's mom. You know, she's discovered some of the biggest and the best, Nicki Minaj, a bunch of people. But she brings the rap girls on and she tries to coach them through building their careers. And then at the end, there's one that she picks and she focuses on. You didn't make it to the end, but you were on the show.
Yeah.
But one of the clips that I remember seeing going viral from you was when you were breaking down. You were really upset. Talk about that moment and just what the experience was
So
like.
I just feel like I was put in so a lot of people said I was being difficult, but I feel like I was put in a difficult situation. I was in a store I could fit nothing, you know. So when I finally found something that I could fit, it was like, oh, that's not a boss. Take that off, you know. So I felt some type of way, you know. But yeah, I just feel like I was put in a difficult situation, and I was seeing everybody able to fit things, and you know, I'm getting frustrated because I can't find nothing. I don't want to make nobody mad. I want to, you know, look good and stuff like that. So that's why I started crying. I was a little frustrated.
You know, you walked in and, you know, you said the chair was too small, so we had to bring the part of the sectional for you to sit in. And you said something. You said, now this is what I'm talking about, accommodations, right?
Yes.
But we live in a world that's not always going to be able to accommodate people that are
But we
plus
should,
size.
though. We should, because we not all the same, you know? I feel like we should. Like, why not? I feel like
Let's talk about it real quick, right? Before she even dive further into it, here's where I cannot agree, because this is how you know when people don't live in the reality that everybody else lives in. You got to understand, to be that size is not normal. To be that size is not healthy. So for her to say that people should make accommodations for people of that size, that's justifying things that are wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Now, everybody can work on their weight. Nobody's saying nothing about that. But it gets to a point where it's like, okay, we're no longer going to agree and fall into and continue on with the bad behavior, with the no discipline. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's literally what this is. It's no discipline. Why should people accommodate you because you chose to let yourself go? That's the thing I really don't understand. And it's like, if you women always say, I feel. The world does not owe you anything because of the way that you feel. If you feel a certain type of way, go create your own accommodations. Go create your own chair. Go create your own furniture. Go create your own, doors to walk through. Go do it yourself. Because at that point, you can say, well, I feel that this should be this way. So because I feel that way, I went out and I created this. And because I created this, I can now utilize it in the way that I want to utilize it. But no way, shape, or form should people have to accommodate you because you chose to get yourself to that fucking size. Like, you can't agree with that, man.
The LGBT community, all those other communities. I just feel like we outside. If we inside, is get up. Why you in a house? You should be doing this. You should be doing that. When we outside, it's like, why you not in a house?
Well, people would say,
yeah, and my thing, who the hell tell you to be in the house? Like, what people are you around? Like, I never heard nobody tell no fat person, oh, you should be in the house. It's like, no, you shouldn't. Like, you should be outside like everybody else. I don't see why anybody would say you should be in the house. Now, you should have some damn clothes on. I can understand that. I can understand if they saying, yo, you need clothes on, bro. Like, put your stomach up or something. Yeah, because don't nobody want to see all that excess. Don't nobody want to see that. I think if anything, that's probably where they was coming from with that. Because I remember in her response to the Lyft driver situation, she was like, that she not gonna be in the house, she gonna be outside, and with her being outside, she gonna let her stomach out, and that it's kind of like that's where probably like the line is being drawn. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think nobody is just saying be in a house like, damn, I want you outside or nothing. Like, no, I don't think that's the case, bro. Like, that just don't make sense.
Okay, Joe.
Who actually told you that? Because, like, that's crazy.
Right.
I don't believe that,
I don't believe it either.
F people should stay in the house. I mean,
that's how it is. We go outside and people looking at us crazy. Like, we getting stared at for what? Because we big.
The clothes you got on.
Like
belly hanging out.
I know a lot of times,
what the fuck?
Even seeing it like with like how Liz, although she's lost a lot of weight now, how it could be like some of the clothes that the F people wear, with things hanging out and y'all, try to wear
crazy. You got to
things
censor
that the
yourself
smart
on staying fat, dog.
Be wearing.
I don't live in a world where the skinny people when the F people. That's not my reality. I am a human being. I am regular. Just because I'm outside with my like I said, I've been doing this a long time. And when I said I've been doing this a long time, I've been putting on for people like me for a long time. I did a naked, excuse me. I did a naked photo shoot in 2017. Now all the big girls showing their stomach, they showing skin. The people wasn't doing that. We had porn stars doing it, but we didn't have regular people.
Put that shit up. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Put it up. Man, y'all effing crazy. I mean, big mofos been having, they bellies out and all like that for the longest, but don't sit here and try to make that shit seem like it's just oh yeah, I live in reality where I can be big as hell and just bring everything out. And it's like, bro, nobody want to see that shit. Like, no, I'm sick of everybody always thinking that everybody just have to be so accepting and force some shit on some people. It's like, listen, I honestly believe everybody need to segregate themselves in a sense, right? Like, make an environment to where, okay, if you want to do certain things, y'all go over here. But not you know, I can go downtown or I can go to the gym where nobody is looking at that. Everybody's fit, nice in shape because, and then, you know, if you're fat, you put in the work or whatever. But even if the fit people got clothes on, but you like, nah, I want to let all my shit hang out just because I should. It's like, no, bro. Like that's not the norm around here. You don't change things because you feel like you want to. Society don't operate like that. Society operates as a collective, not as a like you just buy your effing, you just buy yourself and you can just do whatever you want because you feel this type of way because you big as hell. And you know that shit not okay. Like I don't care what you talking about. You know that shit not okay. You just don't want to put in the work to fucking change it. And because you don't want to put in the work to change it, because it's going to be hard, you chose to say F it. I'm just gonna do whatever, and then I want to bitch and complain and force everybody to accept it. No, bro, fuck that shit.
Doing it, now they doing it. I just feel like I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. I'm gonna be cute with it too. You know.
I think a lot of
yeah, and everybody gonna stare at your ass. So don't bitch about nobody staring at you and looking at you crazy. Like you need to take your ass and not put some clothes on. Do you and just accept all the fucking responses that come along with it.
I think part of it is like yourself. You're speaking up about it. A lot of bigger people don't speak up about it, right? Mac, who's one of the producers up here, was a lot bigger. He lost a lot of weight, but I didn't know all the problems that he had until he spoke about it because it's just something that you don't think about it. Like he said, he would get on a plane and it would be difficult. You know, he said he would go to the gym. It would be difficult, but those are things that we just don't think about because I think people don't ever make it a thing. So the fact that this incident happened puts it on people's minds so you can tell what you have to deal with because, you know, these are some of the things that we don't have to deal with.
Again, the plane situation, that's not my reality. Anytime shout out to Southwest because they accommodate bigger people. If you need 2 seats, they're going to give it to you for free. If you pay for 2 seats, they're going to refund you.
Really?
I don't have that problem. Like,
and know that.
Even if
that's what I'm saying. We don't speak about
like
it.
Like last time I went to Delta, they said
Delta charge you.
You might need 2 seats, ma'am, but we're gonna let you get on this time. I never have a problem with my seating when I get on the plane. Like I never have problems. Like when I come into a room, I demand my respect.
No, you don't have problems because 9 times out of 10 they probably don't want to hear you start bitching and cause a problem and create a whole thing. And then now, just like with Lyft. Now you on the news talking about they was being discriminatory against me because of my size, and they said I had to pay for 2 seats instead of 1. And they probably looking at it from a business perspective and like, you know what? Don't feel like dealing with her because we can already tell she already ready to snap and go off. She already got a little funky ass attitude. I guarantee you, bro, she going through the airport, and that's probably literally she's probably out of breath. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being completely 100 because I've been around all these different type of people. So I have my own effing experience. I'm talking about people big as hell. Literally, just simply walk down the steps or up the steps, bro. They out of fucking breath. So I know walking through the airport, I know you probably going to be tired. Because at the end of the day, walking around with all that weight, that shit is heavy, bro. It's heavy. And you get tired. So when you get up to that airport and they look at your ass and they're like, yo, you might need a additional chair. But as she said, Delta said, but we ain't gonna charge you for it this time. But I guarantee you ain't about to do that shit every time. I guarantee it. I bet you won't get your ass on Spirit and do that. Cause Spirit would be like, yeah, nah. And then all them cheap ass motherfuckers that's on Spirit, they gonna be like, she can't have 2 seats, like it's gonna be a whole thing. Like, come on, huh?
And I'm sweet. I'm a nice person, so I feel like people respect that. I respect you. You respect me. I never it's never.
Yeah, that's where the respect come in at. It's because you're sweet. It ain't because you know boss and you demand. No, it's not, bro. It's they feel like, oh shit, man. You know, she nice and don't want to. Like, let's just keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? We don't. She all cool, calm, collected. We don't want her to turn up. You know what I'm saying? Because who the fuck got time for that?
Issue with me, like the issue be when like the staring or the judging or, you know, stuff like that. And then a lot of people will look at me and be like, oh, she eat, she do this, she do that all the time. That's not my reality either. Like,
You don't
know,
eat? So what the fuck
I
do you do?
Eat, but I don't just sit down. I'm not 600-pound life. That's not my life.
Yes,
it is. I think it's more so like coming from a health standpoint too, Dank. You feel me? Like have you ever had anybody that like one of your friends maybe that try to get you, like help you to lose weight or, you know, or fear for your life, you know, or like anything.
do you
like
want to lose
I
weight?
really don't. Yes, I do. I really don't. Like,
Want to lose weight?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh.
I really don't have friends for real. I have like family and people that's been around me for a long time. Me and my cousins, we go to the gym. I got a gym at my house. I go to the gym. You know, I got workout videos.
You also
know?
have your weight specialist here with you. I
Yeah,
heard you lost 80 pounds recently, right?
Yeah, I actually
congratulations.
did. But people be forgetting, like, when I was little, I wasn't skinny. My brothers are skinny. I grew up with two skinny brothers.
Oh, you mean like when you were younger?
Yes, I was never small. You know, I was okay.
How much did you weigh when you came out? You remember?
When I did what?
Like when you came out as a baby.
As a rapper.
No, as a baby. She was born.
Oh, baby.
Born.
I don't know, but
Like
I
8
had a lot of
pounds.
baby fat on me. Like you see some pictures, I had baby fat, but I was really active. You know, I did plays, I did singing, and I did cheering, and you know, I did stuff like that. I was just a big baby, you know.
And see, I like big babies because like the skinny babies, they be a little too corporate for me.
Yeah, but sometimes it could be
Really,
cute, but it's
really
gonna
just-
stick on them, and it's gonna, you know, it could stick on them. But
You always look like a baby when you chubby though, no matter how old you get.
yeah,
Like you have a baby face.
Man, listen, we don't got to continue on with this bullshit. Like I say, that's on Breakfast Club. Y'all definitely should go check it out. But at the end of the day, I don't care what they talking about, bro. Like, just because you want to live in that reality, all right, cool, fine and dandy, bro. But trying to basically make it seem as if somebody is doing something wrong just because they staring at you, or as you say, judging you. Like, what do you think they gonna do? Like, seriously, what do you think they're gonna do? You think they just gonna look at you like, oh, okay? No, it's like, because you look different. You the fucking oddball. Like, for real. So the next one we got, this one is a tough one for me. Just like pulling it up, you know, I really thought about if I really wanted to do this or not, because I really cannot stand talking about or dealing with, like, you know, things happening to children, you know, with my own babies. You know, over time I've developed, like, you know, a real sensitive spot when it comes to children, and it's because of my children, right? So a mother, two of her children, she has 4 children, 2 of them, they passed away overnight in their sleep because they lost their home. And when they lost their home, they had to sleep in a car. They were at a Greektown Casino parking garage structure, and her babies passed away due to them freezing to death. Man, we about to get into it. You know, I definitely want to know what y'all think, what y'all feedback is. But the biggest thing that I want to talk about here is the father. Like, I'm not putting no blame on nobody, because that's not really going to get us anywhere. You know, pointing the finger, that's not going to get us absolutely nowhere, because at the end of the day, this woman lost her 2 children. And I don't know how that feels. I don't want to know how that feels. I don't want to understand. I don't want no parts of that life whatsoever. But my heart definitely goes out to this woman. Like, seriously. So I'm about to cue this up and let's get into it, man.
Look, Metro Detroit, after 2 kids died of apparent hypothermia in a casino parking garage. Welcome to 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Simon Shayket. This story has devastated our area. Just moments ago, 7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham talking with the mother of those two children.
Darren joining us live right now from Detroit's West Side with more from their conversation.
She has been homeless for 3 months and that she is trying to do better for herself, trying to get back on her feet. She told me she's a CNA, a medical assistant, and that she was actually about to start a new job tomorrow. And so I did speak with her and I asked her, one of the questions I did ask her was to take me back to yesterday.
Yesterday I woke them up to wake them up from school. My son wasn't moving. And I kept saying, Freddie, please get up. Please. Please, for me, just get up. Don't do this to me. And I tried to give him CPR because I'm a senior and a medical assistant. I've been working there since I was 17. I tried to give him CPR and I was just giving him CPR. I just kept saying, Freddie, don't leave me. Don't leave me, please. I saw the green and brown stuff.
Bro, I don't know why I just keep doing that, man.
I tried. I didn't even know my 2-year-old was dying. I was in it with my 9-year-old. And they brought her in right after they pronounced him dead. And my mama came to me, she said, Yaya. That's what we call her, but her name is Amelia. We just call her Yaya. And they said she wasn't breathing. And they pronounced her dead too. I asked everybody for help. I called out of state. I called cities I didn't know. I called cities people asked me to call. I even asked Detroit. I've been on cam list for the longest. Everybody now wants to help. After I lost 2 kids, I've been asked for help. I feel like it wasn't their time. I did everything I was supposed to do. They had everything. Everything they wanted. Only thing they didn't have was a house. But from electronics to clothes, anything they asked me for, my kids didn't even get whooped. I lost the one who made me a mother. I lost a 2-year-old. It hurt losing 2 kids in one night. You know, I don't wish this on nobody. And if you can get help, please go get help. Because I don't want nobody else to go through what I'm feeling. Just wherever you can get help from, if it's not from the city, the state, no other city or state, just go. Like, you don't have to suffer.
It's very, very, very heartbreaking. The new McFall Brothers Funeral Home is covering the children's burial plans.
So that's the mother, right? Now, I want to show y'all this because we got the dad's reaction. And see, the dad reaction, that's what really got me, right? Let's go to the dad. Listen to what the dad talking about.
Right now, we're going to turn to our other big story of the night. A father speaking to us tonight after learning 2 of his kids died from exposure to the cold in a casino parking lot.
Yesterday, 7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham spoke to the mother of those 2 kids about the tragic situation.
He's getting the father's side of this story, hearing about the moment he learned 2 of his children had passed away.
Darnell Curry Sr. wiped away tears while talking with me about his children, Darnell Jr. and Amelia, and the distressing phone call he says he took from their mother, Tatiana Williams, on Monday.
I went to the gym. As soon as I got on the treadmill, she called saying, can I make it to the hospital right now? They gone. I was hoping it was a sick joke, but it wasn't.
According to Detroit police, 9-year-old Darnell Jr. and 2-year-old Amelia died while sleeping in a vehicle at the Hollywood Casino at Greektown parking garage. Investigators say the cause appears to be hypothermia, a tragedy stemming from homelessness.
I tried. I asked for help. I asked everybody, even people out of state. But I tried. I tried to keep hotels. I tried to pay people to stay there. It wasn't working for me. You know, people just didn't like too many kids at their house.
I spoke with the children's mother Tuesday, to Curry, who's the father of 3 of her children.
I asked him, I said, can you get your kids for me? I said, I need help. You know I'm homeless. I done kept a room this long. I couldn't keep it no more.
They were homeless. Had Tatiana ever reached out asking to?
No, she did not. All she said was, can I get them? Can I get them just to get them? And can I get them because y'all homeless? That's 2 different things.
She said she had been homeless for 3 months.
Say, I saw it. That's what I saw, about 3 months, but she ain't never said nothing to me. Nothing. So all them other side stories, they can cut all that. No, she did not.
Curry, who lives in Novi, says Williams never specified why she wanted to drop their kids off to him.
She just asked, can I get them for a couple of days? But I told her I'm working and all that, and I'm out here. We're not close to each other, so I couldn't. But she knows all my family is right around the corner from her.
Did she reach out to any of your family?
No, she did not. And she knows she could have, like we always used to do.
He says the last time he held his children was a month or 2 ago, and that they typically FaceTime, moments he will miss. And there's a, police investigation into this. What is it you would like to see come of this? Obviously, nothing's going to bring back your 9-year-old and your 2-year-old.
Don't even matter to me. Can't get them back, so it's whatever.
Darren Cunningham, 7 News Detroit.
Man, listen. I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. And I gotta keep it a buck because I'm a dad, bro. I'm a dad. And as a man, as a dad, just listening to that story and just thinking about the everything that transpired, it doesn't make sense to me that if your children have been homeless for 3 months, right? 3 months. So this just happened. It's February. So they've been homeless since November. You got Thanksgiving. You got Christmas. You got New Year's. If they've been homeless for that long, I know for a fact, if you talk to your kids often, a 9-year-old, a 2-year-old, however old the other one is, I know for a fact that 9-year-old told you that they was living in that car. I know that for a fact. My 9-year-old comes home and tell me damn near everything that goes on with school, with people, with her friends that's pissing her off. She tell me everything. I know for a fact if your kid was freezing, cold, going through whatever struggles, bro, I know they told you. And for the simple fact of he sitting here talking about she never called me and told me to get them because they was homeless. Nigga, I don't give a fuck what she supposedly called and said, homeless or not. It makes no sense why, if you got 3 kids with this woman, why in the hell do she gotta call you and ask you to get your kids? See, we always talk about bum ass dudes. And I'm not just talking about financially. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just overall, their character, their being. That has to be an example right there. Because if anybody we all know where Nova at. And if you don't know where Nova at, it's about, let's say 20 minutes outside, 20 to 25 minutes outside Detroit. For all my Detroiters, you can literally hop on Grand River and shoot straight all the way out to Nova. All you gotta do is take Grand River west and just keep going. You're gonna go right through Nova. The average homes out there, literally, we talk about, I think the average home out there probably costs like maybe like 300,000. So it's a affluent suburban area. If he's living out there, they're living out here. They're struggling. He's out there. My man's look pretty warm. Like his hair was probably, retwisted, crispy. You know what I'm saying? Nice coat on. He ain't looking all dusty or nothing like that. What are we talking about here? Like, what are we talking about? I don't even understand why he even got on camera, because if I did some whole ass shit like that, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not getting on camera, bro, because it don't even make sense. Nothing I could say would justify that. Nothing I could say could justify on why my children died. Nothing I could say could justify why I let that woman just be effed up in a game like that while I'm out here in Novi just doing what I do. It makes no sense. And because talking about some we too far away. Nigga, what? What? Let me and my shorty not be together. And she called me about bring my kids home. You don't gotta call me to get my kids. My kids live here. This is their house. What are you talking about? Can I get my kids? That shit don't make it makes no sense, bro. And that's something that was just extremely like frustrating. And I honestly didn't even really want to talk about this. I really didn't even want to like look at the story, none of that. Cause I truly hate when bad things happen to children. And that shit could have definitely have been prevented. You know, there's no point to put blame on anybody. There's no point to even go down that route, because I mean the kids are gone, bro. And there's nothing nobody can do to bring them back. Nothing. All because I don't even know what the fuck the reason is, because I'm still looking at it as like, you on one hand, okay, the mom effed up in a game, she was trying to hold on to a room. It's her, it's I guess her mom, her two siblings, and then 4 children. That's 8 people standing in the van, bro. 8 in the van. And then in one of the stories, they said the 2-year-old had a t-shirt and a pull-up on. Bro, it's freezing fucking cold outside. A pull-up and a t-shirt. Living in the van. While dad is standing in Novi. This is one of the reasons why I'll tell anybody, I am pro-choice. I understand every life is valuable. You know what I'm saying? And I value life significantly. But why bring a child who never asked to be here into this world if you're not gonna give them the proper things that they should get? I mean, I don't think having both their parents is a bad one. You know what I'm saying? I think that should just be a standard. Like it's a standard that you get both of your parents. Both your parents be there, point blank, period. It should be a standard. No ifs, ands, buts about it. I don't think that one should be negotiable. And then I understand that sometimes, dudes will have a child by a woman that they don't really care about, but it'll be like, all right, one slip up. Bro had 3 with her and then said she could have called my family. Bro, the only person she should have called was you. If anything, you should have called your family. You should have called your mom or whoever you wanted to call and set it up to where your kids could go over there. If that was the case for real. Because I'm still gonna stand 10 toes that you should have went and got your kids. I don't give a fuck. None he talking about. You should have went and got your kids. And that's just man to man. That's just one man to another man, one father to another father. No, there's nothing a dad or a man could really say to where it'd be like, oh yeah, man, I was down bad. I couldn't go get my kids. Like, nigga, what? Why? Could have Ubered. You could have cashed app her like a 20 ball and like, yo, bring my kids to me. You know what I'm saying? I might not know transportation, but bring my kids to me. I mean, something. Y'all could have worked something. I mean, just something, bro. Now them kids gone, dog. That shit is crazy. Yo, make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if it is your first time being here. This one really got me, you know what I'm saying? It really got me feeling some type of way. I'm not gonna lie. So I want to know what y'all think. Make sure y'all drop the comments. Let's have that conversation. Until next time, I'm gonna catch y'all next week, Friday, 10 p.m. every week, no matter what. We gonna be on here because this is y'all nightly show. This is the show that's gonna start y'all weekend off every single time, and I'm always gonna have something to talk about with y'all, man. So I'll catch y'all later.